Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another Final Fantasy VFX's video, and today we're going to be talking about 5 units that you should be focusing on if you're a new player, intermediate player, maybe someone who just come back into the game and may have these units already but don't really know much about them or if they're still good, you know, kind of things like that. And I understand, I feel you guys. So on top of this list, this is not a tier list, by the way. They're all 5 of them are individually useful in their own way. But on top of that, there's no limited time units in this video. All 5 units that we'll be talking about in this video are not limited time, and you could pull them at any moment. So with that being said, let's get into the 5 units you should be focusing on. Number 1 is going to be Crestnick. Crestnick has proven time and time again that he's very valuable in pretty much every Clash of Wills ever since he came out. And especially now because his one ability here in his Brave Shift form is very valuable, the Arcane Stimulant, which you can just spam over and over again, and is very valuable. And on top of that, he also has that Light Imbue thing that he can do here, which has been useful in a few Clash of Wills. So this is definitely one of the ones that you should be focusing on. He also has a lot of, you know, status ailment protections and healing and all that kind of good stuff. So he's very valuable in that role, guys. So this is definitely one of the 5. Remember, guys, these are not all. None of these are in priority. Only prioritize however you want it to be. I'll let you guys decide for yourselves what you guys think is better than the other ones. But yep, he is the first of 5. Let's go into the next one. Kaito. Kaito, just like Crestnick, has proven time and time again, he's very valuable in a lot of Clash of Wills. Very variety of killers. Now, his damage is pretty pathetic. Even at max morale, 20% morale, his damage is not very good. But you're not really bringing him for damage, and I say this often with some units, you're not bringing them for damage, you're bringing them to help support the chain on top of all the other things that they can do support-wise. So think of him as a support DPS. His breaks are as high as a lot of other units, if you can unlock them. Sorry about that. If you can unlock the breaks, they're 90% breaks that he has in his Brave Shift form. And very valuable, including these unpredictable tide and also undulating wave. To be fair, honestly, I think this one's much more valuable. The unpredictable tide is much more valuable than the other one, but they're both good in their own way. But I feel myself using this one much more. But you know, you're not gonna be able to see it, unfortunately. Outside of Clash of Wills, you can't see it. But he has some moves that he has 90% breaks. He has a whole bunch of weapon imperils, huge 150% water imperil. Very nice. All that stuff is very nice. So Kaito is definitely one of the 5 you should be focusing on. If you have a whole bunch of him stored away and you never even thought he was good at all, and you're like, what? Who is this guy? Who is this guy taking up space in my inventory? Well, you better start focusing on him. That's who you should be focusing on, right? Okay, and then number 3, we have Chizuru. She's very valuable in terms of killers. She can give killers to everybody. She has 4 killers that she can give out on top of a huge killer for herself of 200%. 250%, sorry, 250% for herself. So that will carry over, of course, into a Brave Shift form. You'll be able to do even more damage against the enemy that you're fighting. If you are fighting against any 4 of those races, huge wind amp for herself, strong, big PP damage, Brave Shift LB there. So that also makes it into a tag. Once her Brave Shift LB is used, you can now turn all of your attacks into tag attacks, which are very valuable, especially. So Chizuru is one of the ones, especially you can get a lot of attack on 10,000 attack on Chizuru before leader skills came out even. So very good on that. Chizuru is definitely one you want to focus on. And moving on, I know surprising that she's not EX3. I'm working on it. I'm very close to getting her to EX3 from the Shard Dungeon. I think I need like 15 more, I think. Alright. And this one may surprise you. I talked about Skye before in one of my previous videos. I think like a few days ago, and people were surprised. Oh, it's Skye. She's good? Yeah. I just used her in the last Clash of Wills. Just fine. And yes, it's harder to gear her. It's getting really hard to gear her for multiple race bosses that she's not good against. But her intrinsic ability is very good. If you don't know about her intrinsic ability, we can pull that up right now. Stupid filter. Skye High. Just type Skye. So, gives her 2,000 flat attack on top of 80% attack, which actually she really needs because she struggles with capping attack. So that's also very nice. This is not really, it's not really, you can pretty much ignore that. But there's killers here. Very nice amount of killers, 4 killers. 2 of them higher than the other. I'm not sure why not all of them are the 250%. Even if it overcaps, just be consistent, right? But whatever. This is a very good intrinsic ability for her, so very nice. That's why she's so strong now compared to a few months ago when she was just okay. But basically she was like the only option, but now she is an option for you. And moving onwards, I think this one was obvious. Sylvie, in every Clash of Wills, ever since she came out, she's been in my team. She's literally been glued to the screen on my Clash of Wills team because she just provides so many things. It's ridiculous. She basically is the new version of Ling, basically, and all those other kind of supports. So she's very valuable in that way. Of course, there are some limitations, like some elements that you may want, but she doesn't have. I wish that she had all elements, right? But she has pretty much everything in a bag of chips. She has everything you would ever want. Elemental resistance, and mitigation, and chain giving, which I honestly have never even used this. I don't know if this will ever become useful. Maybe it will someday, but I've never used it. But she has it. She has Mirage. She has breaks. Not the highest breaks, but they're good enough. She has imbues. She has morale gain, which I've definitely used in the last Clash of Wills. And Compassion Compassionate Knight is very good as well. Removes charm and stop. In the Brave Shift form, she has tons of killers. And LB fill. And morale fill. And healing. And, you know, huge amps, which she's the most known for, of course. And I've got your back, which is very nice because that's 400% LB or 300% LB damage, but 400% stats, which is very good for one ally, and also gives morale. So she's everything you could ever hope for. Her LB, of course, on both LBs are super top notch and top tier, and SSR tier, whatever you want to call it. 400% stat buffs and LB mod buffs. And in her base form, huge elemental resistances, which I've used before. Very nice. So that's it, guys. Make sure you prioritize whatever you feel like prioritizing first. If you have any of these units and you're a new player, you're a returning player, you're a casual player that just found this video for some reason, welcome to my channel, by the way. But yeah, she is very valuable. She's, I would say, if I were to give like if I were gonna say like best units of all time, and I was gonna lower to like top 3, she's in the top 3 easily. I know people only judge things off of DPS nowadays and say only DPS get a tier list, but if I were just to make a general list of best units of all time, she's getting in the top 3 easily. Anyways, thank you guys very much for watching. Appreciate you. Leave your comments down below. I always read them, of course. I'm reading all your guys' comments. Sorry, I better get out of here. See you in the next video. Peace.